Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax And Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:34. And the great Eddie Money with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
That's where my money always is, on Eddie. It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 85. Tomorrow, hot with a high of 93. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
Sweet Jesus, what a hell of a show to come back from vacation for. Fitzy from townienews.com will be joining us after 8 o'clock today.
Yeah, and we got other stuff. We got treats coming.
Thank goodness.
For everybody.
Well, that's going to be terrific. We'll tell you all the details about how we're going to feed our faces later on today.
There you go.
That and more. Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. To Springfield's Classic Rock, it's 5:51, and ZZ Top with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 85. Then another heat wave upon us tomorrow and Wednesday. High of 93 on Tuesday, high of 91 on Wednesday. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Actor Sam Neill, best known for his role as Dr. Alan Grant in the Jurassic Park franchise, has passed away at the age of 78.
Was eaten by dinosaurs?
Yes, a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Wow. Those things lead anything.
His family announced his sudden and unexpected death on his Instagram account, revealing that he had been surrounded by loved ones. Neil had recently announced that he was cancer-free after battling a rare blood cancer, and his family expressed gratitude for the care he received. The actor, who achieved fame in various films and TV shows, including Jurassic Park, leaves behind a legacy in the entertainment industry. He is survived by his 2 sons and 2 daughters. He was in a lot of stuff.
A ton of stuff.
Like if you go look on his IMDb profile, I'm like remembering all these movies from the 80s he was in.
Tons.
Yeah. Randolph Mantooth, who played John Gage on Emergency, passed away at the age of 80 last week. My sister was a huge, huge fan.
We used to do a lot of stuff for Make-A-Wish back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And Randy Mantooth, and he wanted us to call him Randy.
Randy.
You can just call me Randy. Was like one of the nicest guys ever. He was like great with the kids. He was great with everybody. A real solid dude. I'm really sad. It was really sad to see that news.
So it was probably connected because my sister back in the late 90s worked for A&P Superfood Mart, the Waldbaums.
Sure.
And he was doing appearances at these grocery stores back in like 1996 era. Back then.
Yeah.
And she as soon as she heard the news, I got the picture from 1996. Oh my God, I can't believe he's gone.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, a super nice guy. He was a hot ticket back in that emergency emergency, right?
Emergency.
Yeah.
Yes.
ER was another.
You have any idea how many people wanted to be paramedics? For what Randolph Mantooth did to the entire paramedic industry?
Well, because of how good-looking he was.
It wasn't so much how good-looking he was, but he was. But he was saving lives all the time.
You think back in the 70s and 80s, the teenagers' room had posters of Eric Estrada and Randolph Mantooth. And who else? Who was
I would say like a Robbie Benson was a big one for a while.
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck came a little bit later after that, but yeah, sure.
That wasn't like early 80s, Tom Selleck?
Well, I'm thinking more like 70s.
Yeah.
Because that's when Randolph Mantooth was really, really cooking it with Emergency.
How did he battle it out with Leif Garrett?
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't believe. Randolph Mantooth a little bit older than a Leif Garrett, even a little bit older than a Robbie Benson.
All right.
But I got to tell you, what a loss.
It is a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Randy.
Comedian John Mulaney made history by becoming the first comedian to perform at Wrigley Field in Chicago. I don't know. I've seen some pretty good laughs on that field before, if you know what I'm saying.
That's the truth.
The sold-out show featured surprise appearances by David Letterman, Buddy Guy, Fred Armisen, and Richard Kind. Mulaney delivered a well-received set sharing anecdotes about his family and life. The event was monumental success, with Mulaney expressing gratitude to the audience and his special guests.
A baseball stadium's an odd room for comedy, don't you think?
There's something about outdoor comedy that's not quite the same. Like, you don't have the same feels. You know, we did it last week at Uncle Larry, Papa Bob, Jacob Ladder, whatever the hell it's called right now out in Beckett.
Right.
We did it outside because it was so hot. So we went outside, and that was actually a very nice, more comfortable evening.
But it lands differently.
It's different because I don't know what it is. I have no idea. It's not like music. Music I can see indoors and outdoors. But comedy is a little bit different.
You almost need a roof and walls.
Because I think it's just nature is distracting to begin with. You know, you see a bat flying around.
That can easily interrupt your flow.
Absolutely. Rihanna surprised fans by joining Jay-Z on stage during the final night of his Yankee Stadium concert series, performing hits like Bitch Better Have My Money and Run This Town to loud cheers
Classics.
from the crowd. The singers, yeah. Isn't it just so nice, all these wonderful things? Here you think about songs that were popular when you were born.
Yes.
So, like, what do you think, 1967? 66?
Yes.
So, probably, what? Beach Boys was a top 10 hit? Or
Beach Boys, the Beatles.
Something like that.
That stuff.
Mine was Staying Alive by the Bee Gees from 1978. And then you go back and look at my kids, and they're like, F You by CeeLo Green was the number one hit. Who?
All right, but that's a great song.
Yeah, but
you have to admit.
Who was born on the week that Bitch Better Have My Money was, or with the other one, Nicki Minaj with the WAP. Yeah.
Someday, those songs will be played at someone's funeral.
It is kind of weird to see how like how things become, you know, when you go to weddings 10 years from now. Like, this was no big deal. Nicki Minaj singing, "You got some wings and pizza." The Kids Bop version of WAP.
Wings.
We're munching on some wings and pizza.
Better grab a mop.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Rihanna and Jay-Z have a long professional relationship. So, that's why. Let's see. The Big Bang Theory has been criticized for its portrayal of female characters, with many viewers pointing out the show's reliance on adorkable misogyny and the objectification of women by the main characters. Because that doesn't happen in real life at all.
Dorks don't speak inappropriately to women. You're absolutely right.
There's always somebody complaining about something. Oh, my. How about Kim Kardashian? She was seen getting a professional spray tan in Beverly Hills yesterday.
Really? Well, she must have something to say.
Oh, my God. The last time I had anything sprayed on my skin was when Ray J gave me some trickle-down wiener gleekonomics and that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95. Do you ever have trickle-down wiener gleekonomics?
I have not in the same way. Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once auditioned the Finger Puppets. I had a Black & Decker Pussycat Wrecker.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I had some Granny Poonanny. I made her touch her toes to show where the monster goes. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it.
Right.
And that is your Hollywood trash from Rock 102. Oh.
The following takes place between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, it's the All-Star break, the mid-season classic. Major League Baseball's annual self-congratulatory schedule of meaningless events that the average American could not give a damn about. And yet we do, because other and apart than Love Beach and an Andy Cohen reunion show on Bravo, there ain't nothing else to watch. Tonight, of course, the Home Run Derby. An event so special, so exciting that even hours away, I cannot help myself from saying, we're interrupting a Red Sox 9-game winning streak for this? Well, in fact, we are. Tonight, you'll have a collection of major leaguers slugging it out head-to-head in the sort of muscle-bound display of potentially enhanced superhuman strength designed to show off the game's most powerful second tier. 8 players, including Ben Rice of the Yankees, Tampa's Junior Caminero, Jack Caglione of Kansas City, Jordan Walker of St. Louis, Philadelphia's Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber, White Sox rookie Munetaka Makarama Maka, that guy, and Boston's very own Wilson Contreras, all competing for this year's Home Run Derby crown. You know what's missing from that list? 7 out of the top 10 home run hitters in baseball. In other words, even the most powerful hitters in the game want nothing to do with the Home Run Derby. Why? Because it's stupid. I should also point out that if you happen to be even remotely interested in tonight's Home Run Derby, that you might want to reactivate your Netflix account, because that's the only way you're going to see it, on a pay service that will charge you as much as $26.99 a month. Now, I happen to already have a Netflix account, and while I would love to share my log information with all of you who don't, I'm afraid that certain password protections would be a violation of their terms of service. And as a result, such a violation would therefore put my personal account in jeopardy. And that would prevent me from able to enjoy all of their overpriced services in the future. In other words, you're on your own. At least until tomorrow night's All-Star game, which is likely covered by your basic cable package. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Yeti Roadie 15 Hard Cooler holds 22 cans, or it holds 2 lobster rolls, coleslaw, pickle spear, and a bottle of wine. Get a Yeti Roadie 15 for $200 at Rocky's, available in red, white, or blue. Get a Yeti, available at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. 102 Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:13 on The Who with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 86. It's 64 in downtown Springfield.
Fitzy from TowningNews.com will be joining us after 8 o'clock. We also got some other guests coming up later on today. We'll tell you more about that when we get closer.
I saw you were enjoying your vacation with a tree being cut right in your...
Oh, dude, it's not just a tree. I mean, let me explain. First of all, we have a very nice campground. There's like 60 other campers there. Beautiful, about a mile from the beach. We love it. Absolutely love it. The property is owned by this wonderful guy and his wife. He got that property after buying it from his ex-father-in-law. So now he owns property that had been owned by his ex-wife's family.
Okay.
The lot next to this campground, right behind our camper, was sold by his ex-sister-in-law to be developed. Now, you understand this, like acres and acres of woods.
Okay.
So they decided, well, we're going to build a development for 9 houses. Now, I don't really have a problem with that. These things happen, but this is like a spite development.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like when a spite fence is built between neighbors. This is exactly what it is. Now, a couple of weeks ago, there was probably a good 12 feet of footage between this chain link fence behind our camper and where they had cleared. Well, now it's 2 feet. And what they decided to do was start not just cutting down trees, but grinding the stumps into mulch at 6:45 in the morning.
Isn't there like an ordinance in the town that you can't start work past 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that?
I'm sure there is, but you never underestimate the power of spite.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to.
And I think that
tick off all the neighbors.
I think the spitefulness of it all is really what has motivated them to ignore all the ordinances of when outdoor tree work should begin.
See, I would be complaining about that. If you don't start, I mean,
the thing is, there's no one to complain to. It's already been through court. It's already been adjudicated. This is what they're going to do.
Yeah, but if you're violating a town ordinance or what, I don't know how the laws work up in New Hampshire. But if you if you're starting before a scheduled time of loud work noises, you'd be seemingly violating that.
Let me explain
Yeah.
to the best of my ability here, because I don't know all the laws. But, New Hampshire is a state whose motto is live free or die.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lawless society that has completely ignored common sense and the laws of surrounding areas for the very reason they're selling all those fireworks across state lines and allowing anyone with a Massachusetts driver license to just buy it indiscriminately and go back home with a truck full of mortar rounds.
Money's money.
Yeah, I know money is money, but I don't think that the folks of New Hampshire, the ones in charge, give a damn. So there's really no one to complain to. All I know is most of the stump grinding has ceased. They finished it. I think today is the day they're finally going to wrap it all up.
Yeah.
But oh my God, at 6:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
When most of the people in the campground, even the neighbors around that area, are trying to sleep or just getting up to go to work. Good Lord.
Well, do you sleep in when you're on vacation?
No, unfortunately, I still wake up at like 5:30 in the morning. But, but nevertheless, it's not just about me. It's about everybody else that's in this campground, including my wife, who does like to sleep in when she's on vacation.
Well, you just got to turn that frown upside down, Bax, and just embrace going, you know what? Homes are being built. Somebody is going to live there someday. Your sacrifice now is going to benefit somebody else later.
Yeah, and I would be fine with that if it weren't fueled by spite. See, that's the thing. It's like I would be fine with regular progress. The development to new homes moving in. They're going to be like fairly expensive homes. These are going to be like nice places. But when you're doing it out of spite, maybe it's just I'm not a spiteful guy. I don't really I'm not motivated by revenge or anything like that. So it's hard for me to really kind of put myself in the shoes of someone who is consumed with spite. I would not do something to my property,
right,
purely based on spite. I would do it if, say, there were environmental concerns, if something were like encroaching on a neighbor's property. I would take care of that. I would not build something purely out of hatred. That's me.
You would if you had the money.
Even if I did, I'm not a hateful, spiteful guy. In this case,
you would be.
This is motivated by spite.
I always found that to be. I mean, obviously there are things you can't control. I remember being in that timeshare that I would buy off my friend down in Hilton Head.
Yeah.
The one year we go, of course they're going to pave the road to the complex. So every single day was jackhammers and paving machines and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, well, so much for the peace and the peaceful tranquility of a Hilton Head Island as you're smelling blacktop being laid down.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you going to do? They have to do it at some point, to redo a road.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
And I can be forgiving of that. Mm-hmm. But at what point do you say, okay, enough is enough? My hatred of whoever this is, what is my limit of hatred? Where do I cap it and say I think I've proven my point?
But there's got to be some ordinances there. You got to get the rest of the residents together and sign a petition, and then bring it to the whatever town you're in, to the ordinance board and say, hey, listen, at least they can start after 8:00. Well, this doesn't need to be done at 6:45 in the morning.
I believe they had done that.
Yeah.
That they did have a stipulation as to when they could begin. They've just chosen to ignore it. And I don't think, because of the timing, I don't think they can just get it to stop.
See, you got to fight City Hall, man.
You can't fight City Hall.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Listen, by the time you get through the process of complaining, getting it done, getting the meetings, writing the complaints out, they're done. They're done, and then all of a sudden the construction of the houses begin.
If you want me to draft up some papers, I can for your complaint. and talk about all the things that is ruining your life because of this construction and how much you've invested your savings into a beautiful home that you want to enjoy relaxation and peace and quiet because that's why you moved to New Hampshire. That's why you're there.
Right.
You should do that. You should really make a case for yourself.
I've seen stories, and often they turn into like Dateline stories after a while, where two neighbors can't seem to get on. They just can't seem to see eye to eye. And then one neighbor, strikes, and the other one strikes back. And once they strike back, it prompts the first neighbor, the one who launched the first strike, to strike again. And it goes on and on and on. And I'm just wondering, how much is enough? Where's the line? Where do you say, okay, I may not like this guy, but how much time, effort, and money am I willing to spend to make that guy miserable forever?
This is a woman that has taken over this property?
No, it was a woman who sold the property to a developer and said, hey, whatever you do, let's try to get this work done a little early if you can.
Yeah, well, you got to start the day when it's so hot out.
The early bird catches the worm. Here's the other problem with this. When you remove that many trees at once, all the bugs and animals have to find a place to go.
Yeah, they're coming into your place now.
That's exactly where they're coming.
They did that down by my mother's house in Venice, Florida. There was this whole... Her development was one of the early developments in the neighborhood. So eventually they were just like plowing down more greenage and whatever was out there, forest land. I guess you call it forest, palm trees and stuff like that. But when they dug up the thing behind them, rats. There was rats, Florida rats. They burrow in the holes. And then all of a sudden, there was rats going around the neighborhood. They had to hire like an exterminator to come and get rid of the rats because they were going into everybody's trash and everything else.
We're seeing a massive increase in ticks.
Yeah.
Those green-headed flies, the ones that actually bite your flesh with their little scissor-like mouths.
What about the deer? Do you see the deer?
Not a lot of deer. Yeah. Bunnies like you wouldn't believe. Like these bunnies have been completely displaced.
Oh, those are dangerous.
Well, they'll bite your bum off if they get a chance. Like your ankles and stuff.
You got to get an exterminator to get rid of all those bunnies up there.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. I did not expect infestation, but it's gotten crazy.
Listen, I suggest you work 4 days this week and then take the whole weekend off. Friday through Monday.
Boy, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
I wish I had thought of that.
I think we should do that every Friday until August.
Until August.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll go talk to the lady in HR to see if I've got additional time to take off.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Yeah.
It's 6:24 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I love heat waves.
I do too. I love them.
Like a Martha and a Vandellas heat wave. That's a good heat wave.
Remind me to cue that one up later. Hey, this week on Baxi's Musical Podcast, an interview that I am so proud of. This came out so great. Paul Rappaport, the former vice president of rock promotion from Columbia Records. He's got a brand new book out called Gliders Over Hollywood, Airships, Airplay, and the Art of Rock Promotion. Probably the best book that explains what radio and records used to be like back in the 70s and 80s. This guy's worked with the likes of the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, Bob Dylan, Paul McCartney, Springsteen. The list is absolutely endless. It's a fascinating conversation. Check that out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and on the app, brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee, and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Now, before I ask you if you're ready to laugh, I have some missing buttons here. And I don't know if I even have the intro for the joke.
How do the buttons just disappear on you like that?
I don't know, but there's about 12 blank spaces on my screen now where sounds used to be. And I'm not sure what the hell is going on here. So let's see. What's this one?
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day on Rock 102. Springfield's Classic Rock.
I don't think we're allowed to use that.
Why can't we use that one?
I don't know.
Oh, I know why we can't use that. Yeah.
I don't know where the... anyway, you ready for the joke or what?
Sure, why not?
A guy walks into a bar, right?
Yes.
And he goes, "Excuse me, can you tell me where the gender-neutral restroom is?" And the bartender goes, "Yeah, it's down the hall to the left." And he goes, "Thanks, I really need to take a she-it." Get it? Because it's a pronoun
Yeah, of
thing.
course. $20 dinner on a comedy show this Thursday night.
Every Thursday night.
Every
And I don't
Thursday.
even know where the... Ta-da!
31 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Aqua Pump, an expert in all water supply systems from the well to the pump and into the house. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A Holyoke man is facing WEE charges after driving the wrong way on I-91, striking a motorist in a police cruiser.
I believe that's OUI, not we, which is French for yes.
No, have you been drinking? Oui, oui. I have to take a wee wee now
Of
after
course,
consuming
yes.
all of the alcoholic beverages.
Right.
The Mass State Police said that approximately 4 a.m. on Saturday, troopers received multiple reports of a wrong-way driver traveling southbound in the northbound lanes of I-91 in Chicopee. Caller stated that the vehicle was driving at a high rate of speed. Troopers initiated a rolling roadblock on I-91 North near exit 9, activating emergency lights as an attempt to safely stop the vehicle and protect other motorists. As a police cruiser got into position to stop the wrong-way vehicle, the driver swerved and crashed into a state police K-9 unit, striking the rear driver's side. The driver then struck another passenger vehicle head-on. The operator of the wrong-way vehicle, identified as 28-year-old Jose Santiago of Holyoke, was detained and evaluated for minor injuries. He faces several charges, including operating under the influence of alcohol or OUI. OUI.
No.
The trooper was who was struck, his K-9, and the operator of the passenger vehicle who was struck were all brought to a local hospital to be treated for injuries and were expected to recover. The incident this morning we witnessed in Chicopee is another reminder of the serious danger created when someone makes the reckless decision to drive while impaired. I want to commend the bravery and quick actions of our troopers whose efforts to stop this wrong-way driver likely prevented further injuries and potentially saved lives, according to Mass State Police Colonel Jeffrey Noble. That is one of my fears, is driving down the highway late at night, or any time of the day, really, but I think the nighttime really makes it, really drives it home, is having a car come at you in the opposite direction, in the direction that you're going.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen it?
I have seen video of it. I fortunately have never seen it actually happen.
I've seen it, and it is frightening.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I'm so selfish, when I get around that guy and he's far behind me at that point, whew, what a relief.
Remember that? And they're lucky, like, nobody got killed. That lady, remember that years ago, that lady on the Taconic Parkway who got in, she was loaded?
Yep.
Like, loaded. And did you ever watch that documentary, Something's Wrong with Aunt Diane?
Yes, I did.
It's just like, dude, she had a drinking problem. She was hiding from you. Because he was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a way. And a lot of alcoholics are very good at concealing their addiction, or believe they do a great job of it.
Although I did like the New York Post report headline that said gin and Taconic.
See, that's what makes the New York Post such a sensitive journalistic venue. What a great organization.
They do come up with some pretty clever.
No doubt about it.
My favorite New York. Well, first of all, two of them involve the Beatles. Remember the one? I think we've said this before. The one where there was a story about the Beatles were all kind of pleasuring each other in front of each other.
Yes.
And the headline was "Beat the Beatles." And then the other one where Paul McCartney was going through his divorce battle with that the one-legged lady there.
Yes.
It was "He Beats Me, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah."
See, you can't fight great comedy like that and combine it with professional journalism.
4 people were injured in an ATV crash on Toccoa Mountain in Russell Saturday night. Russell Fire Chief Derek Dodlin said that at approximately 10:27 p.m., crews received a report of an ATV accident on Toccoa Mountain trails near the CSX tracks. 2 individuals with severe injuries were flown to Bay State Medical Center via Lifestar helicopter, and 2 others were brought by ambulance. The Westfield Fire Department, Hilltown Ambulance, Mass State Police, and Russell Police provided assistance. The circumstances surrounding the crash are currently being investigated. When you got Lifestar coming in,
Yeah,
that's
serious.
that's a very, very serious accident. Hey, here's something you could have done on your vacation. Bondi's Island opened its doors to the public for the first time in 30 years.
This is just like you've won the gold ticket to the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. There's Oompa Loompas inside. Everything is made of chocolate.
Yeah, the Springfield Regional Wastewater, it's not chocolate.
Oh, Augustus Gloop. Don't fall into the river.
Well, I'm poop.
Augustus Gloop.
But I'm hungry. The regional wastewater treatment facility at Bondi's Island opened its doors for a public tour for the first time in 30 years. The plants treat more than 40 million gallons of wastewater every day, serving about 250,000 residents in several communities. Officials say so-called flushable wipes are one of the biggest problems.
Listen, I'm just going to tell you right now, those are not schnozberries.
What's a schnozberry? The flushable wipes. Listen, I've told my kids this from the get-go because I used to have a babysitter that would buy the flushable wipes, and I said, listen, anything is flushable.
Yes,
The wipe is not going to break down. That's the problem, and that's why it gets caught up in all this machinery and all that.
This is a problem. If you've got like even a septic system, you're flushing those things down there. That's not good for the septic system.
No, I remember the guy from Linton Septic telling me that don't put anything down there that's not that can't be biodegradable
Exactly.
or whatever. And mine was pretty clean. There was no.
You could practically eat off of it.
Well, I'm surprised there wasn't one item in there, but the rest of it was fine. There was nothing nefarious in my
Right.
septic system.
But one and done.
One you could probably get away with.
Right.
It's multiple.
Yeah. This is actually a concern. And I know people use wipes all the time.
Yeah.
I choose not to use them for that very reason. It's like, okay, once I'm done with it, what do I do with it? I'm not supposed to flush. I don't want to just toss it away in the trash because then I'm going to have to take out the trash right away, even if the trash bag is empty.
We should normalize the bidet. I don't know why we don't do that
I
here.
told you that I sampled one for the first time about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Thought it was glorious. I
know a guy who's got a traveling one of those.
A travel one?
A travel one.
For bidet emergencies.
It's got a little tank on it.
Uh-huh.
You fill it with some water, and then you can use it wherever you are.
Well, I told you that this one's got like a heated seat. You can control the water temperature. This one's real fancy. This is like a throne fit for a king.
A king.
Yes.
What kind of king?
One that is crowning.
The Stink Kings. Did you ever hang out with the Stink Kings before?
Maybe.
Wastewater goes through a one-day treatment process before being safely discharged into the Connecticut River, unless we have a lot of rain the day before.
Well, they're still pumping in clean water into the river.
The facility is undergoing major upgrades as part of a $250 million EPA-funded infrastructure improvement project. Officials say the facility's operations have not been affected by the PCB contamination issues at the Springfield's West Parish Water Treatment Plant. So if you were lucky enough, I knew somebody who went there and got the tour, and she wore her vacationing on Bondi's Island shirt from Dr. West Chesterton years ago. Remember that?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, what a great tourist destination that is. Yeah, I can just see it now. You're going to see like a bunch of school field trips All going down to Bondi's Island. A bunch of parents have to sign the permission slip for that one.
Well, I mean, obviously with the subject matter they're dealing with, it's disgusting. But it is kind of an interesting process on how they do that, on how they separate
it
that
is.
stuff.
It's very interesting. It's science. And who doesn't love that? It just,
I love science. Do you love science?
I love science.
Yeah. So maybe we should do, I'm sure they would let us do a private tour.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they probably wouldn't want us to have, cameras and stuff like that, but who knows?
Well, you never know, man.
That is true.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Let's see. After 8 a.m. on the morning of Sunday, July 12th, the crews from the Springfield Fire Department responded to a house fire at 84 Buckingham Street in the McKnight neighborhood. When crews arrived, they found the fire coming from the kitchen within the first floor of the home. It was quickly put out without any injuries. A total of 5 people and 1 pet dog have been displaced as a result of that blaze and are currently being assisted by the Springfield Red Cross. The arson and bomb squad has determined that the cause of the fire was due to improper disposal of smoking materials into a trash bin.
Oh, boy.
You can't put your bowl in the trash bin.
No. You got to wait till it cools.
That stuff burns. It's not like tobacco where it fades out. When you put the devil's lettuce in a trash receptacle, you better make sure that you drown it with water, stir it, then drown it again. I believe Smokey Bear was the first one.
Smoking Bear.
Smoking Bear.
Yes.
Only you can prevent forest fires, man.
Man, I got the munchies. What I wouldn't do for a picnic basket.
Oh, man. Does anybody know where them blueberry trees are? I got to go to the blueberry tree.
Smokey, the ranger isn't going to like this.
I don't care, man. You come across Smokey Bear in the forest after spending a whole day doing bong hits.
Now, is this any relation to the cocaine bear from a couple of years ago?
No, this is a much more relaxed bear.
I see.
Yeah.
This one doesn't say man quite enough.
He's really passionate about people not starting forest fires with their the sparks and their joints and their bongs and pipes and everything else.
You know what we should do? Yeah. You and me, just together, just you and me, you know what we should do?
What would you do, man?
We should prevent forest fires.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah,
we'll sell all our stuff. We'll buy a van. We'll keep going to forests and prevent forest fires.
You are just on fire, man. Hey, by the way, there's a traffic alert. Road hog. There is the 291 off ramp. Getting onto the Pike in Springfield westbound is closed.
Oh boy.
Somebody said little road hog action. Mm-hmm. There you go. So just had to go to Chicopee on the Pike and do the Yui. So stay away from that area if you can. It's going to be today. Not too bad. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 86. Tomorrow a heat wave moves in. High of 93 and a heat index of 105. It's 64 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah. Mix of sun and clouds with a high of 86. It is 64 right now in downtown Springfield.
Well, this is exciting stuff. The Wing Thing returns on Saturday, August 22nd in the Young Building at the Eastern States Exposition Ground, brought to you by Aqua Pump and Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements. Early bird tickets are on sale right now at rock102.com. Your admission includes parking, wings of all kinds, hors d'oeuvres, yard games, live music from Now That's 90s, plus adult beverages for sale. Get your tickets before the price goes up on July 20th. It's the Wing Thing, tossed and sauced by Log Rolling Catering, Saturday, August 22nd at the Young Building at the Big E, part of the Classic Rock Summer on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
Wings.
Yes.
I like wings.
Delicious.
Wings are delicious. I had a nice 4th of July. I went down to the riverfront.
Oh, nice.
And saw Judy Matt and Dom Dom and all the other mucky mucks down there.
The muckiest of mucky mucks.
And I got to say, kudos to the Springfield Symphony Orchestra, who put on a great show before the rain started. It was like there was rain. They were covered, I guess, but not enough to protect all those fancy instruments that they got. Those things are expensive.
Oh my God!
Any
yes.
of that, you're talking probably $5,000 to $10,000 for an instrument. So they did pause the concert. Well, they kind of canceled the concert towards the end, but they had played a good amount.
Yeah.
To the thing. But what a great performance that was. There was all kinds of people down there.
I hope they do it again. I mean, that was awesome to bring them back to the riverfront for that event.
And the fireworks were pretty cool. Pretty
That's
great.
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
Good times there.
Yeah.
What a great place to watch them too. You're right there on the you're probably 400 feet away.
I mean, there's places on both sides of the river you can catch the fireworks, but the closer you are to the bridge without actually being on the bridge and in danger of being, set on fire, you're absolutely right. It's the best fireworks display in the area.
And you know what else was a pretty good fireworks display? I went to the Greenfield fireworks on that Sunday.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool too.
Greenfield.
Yeah, they set them off from. There's this. I don't know exactly where they set them off from, but there's this Poet's Seat Tower up in Greenfield. It's one of them, like land trust things or whatever.
Right.
And they got it's one of these things you can climb up the top of it and see breathtaking views of Western Massachusetts and all the people down in Greenfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How were the breathtaking views at the top of the grease pole at the Italian festival this weekend?
I wish I had witnessed that, but I was away all weekend.
Yeah, I get it.
So I didn't get to go. I've seriously wanted to go and see that. I want to see Dom Dom climb that pole.
Dom Dom doesn't climb the pole. Dom Dom just lifts the pole out of the ground and cracks it over his knee.
And then sticks it in the ground like a stake.
And he says, climb this.
Like he's planting a flag like Neil Armstrong on the moon. He
Right.
takes that whole flagpole and just, boom, there you go.
Because he can do that. That's the kind of power he's got.
Make sure you get the Italian flag and the American flag. We got to do both. Because we're mixed over here.
Because we don't want the Americans to feel bad that this isn't their day.
But yeah, the Greenfield fireworks were, and here's the thing: the nice thing about the Greenfield, there's not that many people
That is
going
kind
to
of
watch
nice.
them, and it lasted just as long as the Springfield fireworks. And we're out. You sneak right out of the parking lot. You park in the Bay State Franklin Medical Center.
That's the way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have to mess around.
You'd be in like a parking garage in Springfield. You're there for 2.5 hours after the fireworks display, trying to get out, but so is everybody else at the same time you are.
Yeah. Although there was two youngsters who were seemingly under the influence, and they were trying to get out of the because there was a little bit of a backup getting out of the parking lot. It wasn't that long. It was maybe 15 minutes. You're waiting to maneuver, but everybody is leaving at the same time, so you're expecting some sort of traffic issue. These two douchebags, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The one kid is hanging out the window of the car, sitting like Bo and Luke Duke style on the side of the General Lee, which had been converted into a Honda Civic. And he's like, "Yeah, man, what are you doing? You gotta move!" And he's yelling stuff out the window, and then he's yelling at people behind him.
Yeah.
And then he decides, you know what? The driver of the car said, "I'm going to just do a 3-point turn right in the middle of this traffic to go back the other way."
What you have described right here on this show this morning is the most Greenfield thing I've ever heard in my life.
Actually, no. This was more of a Longmeadow type of thing. Like
really?
These
like drunk guys in a Honda Civic?
Yeah, these young because it was a Honda Civic that clearly somebody else paid for.
Oh, I see.
It was fancy, if you will. Got the spoiler on the back.
So if someone had sat out the window of, say, like a beat-up but refurbished Grand National, that would have been more of a Greenfield thing.
More of a Greenfield
I
thing.
see,
Yes. With the missing headlight and and when I say missing headlight, I don't mean a burnt-out headlight. I mean an entire housing gone.
Right.
From the car.
What color was it? Bondo.
Yeah, it was beautiful Bondo color. But the people, the guy was clearly drinking, or he was under the influence of something.
Right.
And it's just like, do people realize you don't realize how much of a jerk you're being when you got booze in you and you're in a tense situation like trying to get out of a parking lot.
Yeah. Most people who've got a lot of booze in them are not always aware of how their behavior is being assessed by the people around them.
It's pretty interesting.
A great deal of lack of awareness.
Do you want to hear about my trip to Rhode Island?
Do I?
We'll talk about that coming up after 7 o'clock.
It's 6:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
The following takes place between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch. Brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Woodfire Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Well, folks, the World Cup is nearly over. After weeks of suddenly rooting for countries I've never been to, such as Norway or Scotland, I'm finally starting to feel a little soccer weary. Sure, I was in it for a while, but I feel as though I'm finally ready to move on to the next big thing, and watching additional soccer games would not be among those things. In other words, without the U.S. involved, I think I'm pretty much done. Nevertheless, as many of you may know, the World Cup is now down to 4 remaining teams. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll have France taking on Spain in Arlington, Texas. Then on Wednesday afternoon, you'll have England facing Argentina in Atlanta. The winner of those 2 games will then go on to face each other Sunday afternoon in New Jersey for the World Cup finals. Exciting, huh? Sure, if you say so. Now, you might say, but Maxie, the World Cup is the biggest sporting event in the world, expanded from a 32-nation tournament to a 48 teams of a thrilling, nonstop international excitement. What's your frickin' problem? Well, perhaps you're right. Perhaps my predisposed American values preclude me from showing actual interest. And while I've certainly given it a fair shot, I'm far more interested in this year's NFL season or what to have for lunch. Having said that, yesterday FIFA President Gianni Infantino confirmed that he is currently in discussion to expand the World Cup from 48 teams to a possible 64-nation tournament for 2030. In other words, they're looking to turn this thing into March Madness only in late June to the end of July, possibly longer. Here's the problem. I'm not sure I can even name an additional 16 countries. Secondly, I'm not sure what I need in my life is another set of tourney time brackets so soon after I filed the last ones 4 months ago. And lastly, at 64 teams, this thing is never going to end. And I'm already getting kind of tired of it now. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Is it too late to plant? Heck no. Not when plants now 75% off at Rocky's. So get to Rocky's and get some flowering plants to doll up the place. Plant in the patio, right in the ground. Get them now, 70% off while they last at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. To Springfield's classic rock. It's 7-Eleven and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 86. It's 6-7 in downtown Springfield.
Is it really? Oh, it is 6-7.
It is 6-7.
Anyhow, Fitzy from TownieNews.com coming up after 8 o'clock this morning. Got a couple other guests that we'll be talking about later on today, too.
Yes, and actually somebody reminded me, Nagle, don't forget to take plenty of credit for your prediction of the Red Sox. I was right. You guys were all...
Nobody was predicting a 9-game winning streak on the road.
Well, we will talk all about it with Fitzy coming up after 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Over the weekend, my first travel softball tournament. Yeah.
Wow.
All the way down to Warwick, Rhode Island.
Wow. I'll tell you what, they are putting you at all the fancy places.
So I did a video. Well, first of all, how much do you think a Holiday Inn would be for
on a weekend?
For a 2-night stay in Coventry?
At least $2 per night.
How about per night?
Per night.
Yeah. Yeah, $250.
Get
That's
outta
how
here.
many per night.
In Coventry?
At a Holiday Inn Express, which is a little overpriced, I think. But they got you by the short and curlies. So, you know, what else are you going to do? The World Cup, had set off the differences of all those. Are they even playing any? They're not playing any more games.
They're done in Foxborough, but
Right.
yeah, they have been playing in Foxborough as of recently.
So we were told that the reason why the rooms are so high is because of the World Cup. I'm like, well, the World Cup isn't even going on here anymore. So why are the hotel rooms so high priced? It's because they know that you got no place else to go. You're like the officer and the gentleman.
There are still some stragglers that are still in the area that haven't left. Probably like today, they're probably getting on a plane and flying to wherever the hell they need to go.
Yeah, so I did a video because it was a nice night out on Friday night, and I did a nice video about the beautiful scenes and smells of. I said Warwick because that's where the tournament was. It was Coventry I was actually staying in, which actually made for a good engagement on my TikTok video because people were like, "You're in Coventry, bud. You ain't in Warwick," and I just kept replying, "It's all the same."
Oh, Jesus. That's like saying to the people of Longmeadow that there's no difference between that and East Longmeadow.
Yeah.
You're never going to get away with that argument.
I did not get a soggy dog because they were too far away from where I was going to be. I'm looking on the map. Here, so the softball tournament was at the airport. The TF Green Airport.
Okay.
With all, you know how they have the when you drive in through the airport, they got the Jersey barriers with the looks like ocean waves.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You feel like you're at the ocean.
You're not. No, you're not. You're not even close.
Yeah, you're about 40 minutes away from the ocean. But either way, so the softball complex, which is very nice, by the way.
Sure.
It's one of these like it's like a diamond.
Yeah, so they're running tournaments all the time.
But there's 4 fields right next to each other, which is awesome. And right in the middle is like the snack shack and the bathrooms and all that stuff. So no matter where you parked at this place, you could easily access whatever field you were going to because they were all right in the same thing. It's kind of cool how they put these complexes together.
Yeah, that's cool.
For these things. But every 10 minutes or so, a Southwest flight was taken off or a United jet was right over there. Right over. That's not distracting at all to players or anything while you're.
Well, I mean, it's softball. How much concentration is there really in the game of softball?
Well, I mean, it is. It is probably distracting when you're a batter, and all of a sudden just as you're about to hit the ball, Southwest 232 comes flying through. Taken off to.
Well, I mean, it eliminates the need for all that infield chatter. Hey, better swing, better. The planes will drown that out.
Yeah, but of course it will. But the weather was beautiful. It was a beautiful weekend. Down there. So I'm. This is what I do. I take my little chair. I got one of them little hammock chairs. I love that thing.
I told you I got one. I got a bunch of them.
It is probably one of the most comfortable camp chairs I have ever owned.
Yes.
Right. And I set myself up. It was Field 2 and Field 3 were the 2 games being happening. And right down the middle, there's all this space. And I'm like, I'm going to go park myself in a nice shady spot. And I'm gonna set up here. And because I don't need to be around other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be.
No.
So I sit down. I park myself, got my little camp chair. There's time to kill before the game starts, so I'm reading my book, and I'm like, just enjoying the sights and the sounds of people, games going on. It's pretty cool day. It's a pretty cool experience. And as I'm sitting there, then other parents from my kids' team see me there. So they bring their pop-up tents, and then they put up the pop-up tent, and then
well, you're a familiar face. That's the problem you're facing.
I guess so. And then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll make some room, and I move my chair over a little bit. They put up the pop-up tent, and more people come over. All of a sudden, I'm being pushed out of the very spot that I was parked in.
Wait a minute, how come you're being pushed out?
Because there's no other place to put the pop-up tent.
Well,
and then of
that's
course
not
it's their
your problem.
But it's their tent, so of course they're getting the front row seating that I had originally had. So I'm just this dope with my own little hammock chair. So I just was like, all right, I'm just going to keep moving down.
No. You were there first. People can move around you. If they got to sit behind you with a pop-up tent, that's their business.
It's fine. I'm not about conversation anyway. So I moved down. Now, the good thing is the first game ends, right?
Right.
And then I was like, oh, the other game is right at that other field. All I have to do is turn the chair around, and boom. I can watch that game, too.
Now, these are back-to-back games?
Like an hour in between.
Okay.
But at least I could turn the chair around, and then I could watch the other field from the perfect vantage point. There were,
Sure.
Watching the third base line on one field, first base line on the other field. It was actually a pretty good spot. So I'm sitting there, and, of course, a lot of these people get up and move to the other side. So now I have my space back. But then another team is playing on that field, so more people come in and they camp up. Now, here's what I have artfully done, is just be a quiet observer and listen to people. I heard so much stuff throughout this 2-day tournament weekend.
Well, like what kind of stuff?
Well, I wrote them down because it's overheard things at a youth softball tournament in Rhode Island.
Okay,
right?
yes.
One is an umpire walking near a spectator, a big chubby umpire, right? With a chubby Disney cartoon voice. Looking at this lady going, well, look at you just sitting there eating grapes, enjoying life. That was one. Okay. Then another mother's walking by. You know, Vinny's very comfortable around the cat now. He was scared of him at first, but he just goes around picking him up by the neck. I'm like, buddy, what are you doing? Here's another interaction between a husband and wife. Now, I don't know any of these people. These aren't people
These are
from
all
my
strangers.
team. These are all just strangers. A wife says, you need to go move the car closer. And you can't move the car closer because it's a tow-away zone, right?
Okay.
To which the husband's response is, yeah, I'm going to go park on the other side to make it more convenient for you so I get a $55 ticket, sure. Then another guy walking up. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm going golfing tomorrow for the second time this summer. With these tournaments, all this time taken up, I'm usually out there 14 times already, but I'm going to be out there tomorrow for sure.
What a sacrifice.
Then another guy, right?
Yes.
Because everybody's staying in these hotels that are locally, right? Mm-hmm. And the one guy is saying to his wife, I'm headed to the liquor store. You're drinking with me tonight. I don't want to do that shiznit alone again. Truly's in a McGillicuddy?
What a menu.
Yeah. So then this group of people who then they congregate under this somebody puts up a pop-up tent.
Sure.
There was a woman and a young man that came up and sat down underneath this tent while the other two people were setting up this tent. And then more people gathered and it wasn't our team. It had nothing to do with our team. It wasn't the team we were playing. It was just for the next game going on.
Okay.
So they're all like getting to know each other. And you can hear them talking about where you're from. They were from Rhode Island. They were, they were going back and forth. And then after a while, I hear this older lady go, and what does your son do? Right?
Okay.
And she's like, that's not my son. That's my boyfriend. And the old lady goes, that's your boyfriend? I thought he was your son. And then I'm looking over and I'm like, this kid looks like he just graduated high school.
And how old is the lady?
I thought it was her son too.
How old is the lady?
Probably in her 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's like they're there to watch her daughter play in the softball
Did
tournament.
her daughter and the boyfriend go to high school together?
I was thinking that exact thing. So then I'm just like taking all this in. I'm getting all the tea and all this other stuff.
Right.
So finally, just before my daughter's second game starts, I run over to the moms on our team and I'm like, you will not believe what I just heard over there. And so then they're like, which one? And I'm like, trying to be incognito about it. Like, it's the blonde one over there.
Right.
With the looked like she had somebody put her makeup on with a spray gun. And the boy, she's like, that's her boyfriend? And I'm like, yes. So it was like this little So I like to create all these little scandalous little. I'm spilling the tea.
Yeah,
right?
there's a lot of tea being spilled.
So then, that was like the big talk of the day was about the young man who was, cougar for a cub over here at the softball tournament over the weekend. The next day, we're talking about it with another parent, and she goes, I wish I had seen this yesterday. And then one of the other ones goes, I think that's her right there, But she wasn't with the boy. This is Sunday morning, right?
Okay.
And they're like, oh, I wish we could see the boyfriend. And I'm like, he's probably got Sunday school this morning. A little CCD action.
She's back at home watching the cartoons.
Yeah, but I'm like, wow, talk about the little age gap relationship going on in the quahog clam state.
Again, I would have liked to have seen pictures. That would have been the next big thing.
Listen, I'm doing my best just to be a silent observer. I can't be doing the whole private detective take a snap at pictures.
You can hold your phone in front of your face and pretend that you're taking a selfie of yourself.
I know you can, but I don't want to be a troublemaker.
You don't want to be a troublemaker, and you went to a bunch of moms said, you're not going to believe this.
Get this action.
You don't want to be a troublemaker.
Look at this kid. He's probably the most popular kid in his high school class right now with this 40-something-year-old woman standing here.
It's 7:24 on Rock 102. Rock 102 and Curry Honda Chicopee have teamed up to give you the chance.
I like summer. I like classic rock summer.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
one of my favorites too.
Good times. I didn't, like I said, I didn't get to try the soggy dog because there was the only location that was close by was actually in the airport. And I think you have to actually go through security to get it. So there was no way I was going to the airport.
Well, I mean, the soggy dog is a very popular hot dog, but the Olneyville Coney Island Wiener, that's a Rhode Island institution right there.
Yeah.
That's what you want to have.
And as I said in my video, the entire area had the effervescent smell of the devil's lettuce and somebody microwaving a hamburger at an Applebee's. And the funny thing is, most of the people from Rhode Island are like, yeah, that's exactly what this smells like.
That's exactly it.
And they're telling me, you got to go to the nicer places. I'm like, what are you talking about? I thought Warwick was the symbol of your state.
I would say at one point Warwick was definitely like your hub of retail. There were like two competing malls there for the longest time.
Yeah.
That was like the heartbeat of Rhode Island right there.
One of the I did try to, because we had to, it was another one of these 3 hours to kill during the day before the afternoon game starts.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go see if I can find at least some sort of hot dog stand or something. So I look up on Google Maps and I find I'm gonna say the name of it because I didn't need it. Anyway, Spike's Hot Dogs. I don't know if you ever heard of Spike's Hot Dogs. I don't even know how this place was in business. I go in there to the lobby of these Spike's Hot Dogs.
Okay.
The entire place smells like urine. Like a.
Oh, but that's what they're known for.
Nah, I don't know, man. It was in this shopping plaza. I don't know if they had like a plumbing issue. You ever walk into like a subway station and you smell that like it's musty because it doesn't get any sunlight down there.
Not a lot of ventilation.
And a lot of like urine, like somebody had used it as a bathroom.
Right.
That's exactly what. There was no way I was getting those.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the Spike's Junkyard Dogs menu.
Yeah.
Got to tell you, all looks pretty good to me.
Oh, that's why I was looking at the menu before I went there, and I'm like, oh, this look bad. They have like a German dog with sauerkraut on it, and they have the one with the pickles, tomatoes, and jalapenos, or whatever the hell it is.
Yep, sure. Yep.
And there was no way in hell I was buying anything from that place.
Maybe you just caught it on a bad day. Like I said, if you really want to taste the taste of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
You got to go to like the New York system.
Yeah.
Hot dogs. That's the only really way to do it. It's got the meat sauce on it. Delicious.
I saw these people eating in there, and I'm like, how are you not noticing the smell that's in here? How are you sitting
because
down
most
in
of
here?
Rhode Island smells like the ocean, which means that it already smells like rotting fish and seafood. So you got to expect that there's always going to be an essence to Rhode Island.
An essence.
It's an essence.
Tom Cotter chimed in on my video saying, Rhode Island's smallest state with the highest teen pregnancy rate.
It's a very busy state.
We should have sent Dave Coombs down there. He's got a buddy.
That's right. We got news next to Rock 102. With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Geisler's. Tell them you got it at Geisler's. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Around 4 a.m. in the early morning hours of July 11th, troopers out of the Mass State Police Barracks in Springfield responded to several reports of a wrong-way driver traveling south in the northbound lanes of I-91 in Chicopee. You're not supposed to do that, right? You're not supposed to get on the highway the wrong way.
I don't have the law, the rule book in front of me, but I believe that is the case.
A rolling roadblock was conducted in order to protect drivers from the wrong way driver around exit 9 while troopers were positioning themselves to intercept the driver. The suspect swerved his car and crashed into another cruiser belonging to a state police canine unit, smashing into the rear end of that cruiser. The wrong-way driver then hit another driver head-on. The state trooper within the vehicle, as well as their canine companion and the motorist, were all transported to a nearby hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The wrong-way driver, 28-year-old Jose Santiago of Holyoke, was taken into custody and also taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Santiago now faces a WE and other several motor vehicle-related charges.
Steve, that's an OUI, not a pornographic magazine from the 1970s.
Oh, see, I thought it was French for are you drinking? Oui.
That is actually French for the word yes.
Yeah. You know, by the way, there is a traffic backup on the I-291 ramp getting off whatever that is. I don't know what the number of the exit is anymore. Used to be 6.
I have not figured this whole thing out yet.
There's an overturned tractor trailer on the I-291 I-90 interchange on the ramp, so that's causing some problems this morning. So find another route. But back to this guy with the wrong way thing. It's seemingly happens a lot now. Or is it just that it's always been happening and we're just finding out more about it because of social media and...
Well, I think it's always been happening because, but the difference is, now you can have people, capturing it on video.
Yeah.
So you could see it and you say, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone's driving the wrong way down the highway.
That's crazy.
Look at this video that's now been posted on Reddit.
And everybody's looking
there
at
forever.
After 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, July 12th, emergency crews in Munson were sent to 110 Beebe Road for a report of a clothes dryer that caught on fire. When crews arrived, they found one resident of the home suffering from burn injuries on the porch and smoke coming from the house. Upon further investigation, crews discovered the fire to be mostly put out before they had arrived. Crews put out the rest of the flames and removed smoldering objects from a home. No further details at this time. This is one of those things you got to clear out the vent.
Lint trap and the vent. Yes.
You just get a wet dry vac and you scoop it out with one of them little brushes. Mm-hmm. Suck it all out.
Oh yeah.
It's
and you got to get in there kind of deep too.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's worth doing so you don't set your house on fire. I remember years ago that Coin-Op Laundry over in 16 Acres. You know what I'm talking about? It's in the I always say where Blockbuster used to be.
Well, that's not saying anything.
No, I think it's a Bank of America now or something. Whatever. It's in that 16 Acres Plaza over there. And at the end of the plaza, there's a Coin-Op Laundry. And I remember going in there years ago when I lived over in East Longmeadow here. We didn't have a washer and dryer, so I went and took my clothes to the laundromat. And the guy in there had just bought the laundromat, a new owner.
Okay.
Right? And he was telling me how the previous owner had never cleaned the vents.
Ever?
So people kept shoving quarters into the machine. it was almost like a money-making scheme kind of thing.
Because the clothes would never dry.
They wouldn't dry on time, so you'd have to keep shoving the thing. He said, we pulled out bales of lint from these vents.
That's gross.
It's gross, and it's like, how do you not have, like, what do these inspectors that are hired by the city look for? I mean, every business is unique to what they're doing, so you would have to think that one of the biggest safety issues would be making sure a dryer vent was clear from bales of lint.
You would think so, but most inspectors are there to look at the plumbing, the electrical work, to make sure there's enough doors, entrances and exits, those kinds of things. They're probably thinking, oh, this guy's on a laundromat. I'm sure he must be cleaning out his lint traps.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It is.
If I owned a laundromat, which I don't, I would be cleaning that thing out every single day.
You think?
Because I wouldn't want my business to burn down to the ground.
How many years of somebody's cotton fabrics just letting off that lint? Day after day after
lint,
day after
dog
day.
hair, and oh my God, it's awful.
Well, you're talking about a place that is, open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Probably open 12 hours a day at least. You would think somebody would have said, hey, you know what? Maybe we should clean out this. No. We're making money.
Yes. Not to turn this into like a money-making opportunity, but if if this were me and all of a sudden I would find that my dryer, was set on fire for negligence or whatever it may be or what have you, I'd go to Cluett's, Mechanic Street in Ware, Center Street in Ludlow.
Oh, there you go.
They've been a local family-owned business, been around for over 70 years.
Just make sure you clean your appliances. You don't want them getting KitchenAids.
You're right about that, Steve. Yes. But that's why I always dry my clothes wearing a condom.
Well, you should. A Durex or a Trojan? You never heard of a Durex horse before? The mandatory boil water order was lifted for all customers on the shoreline in Connecticut around 4:15 p.m. on Saturday after E. coli was detected during routine testing, according to Connecticut Water. Prior to this, thousands of Connecticut Water Company customers across 9 towns entered a second day under a boil water advisory after bacteria was detected in a water sample in Essex, according to the Connecticut Water Company and local officials. Tap water in the affected towns could only be used for bathing and laundry. The Connecticut River Health District ordered all food establishments using tap water to close until further notice. The 9 affected towns were Deep River, Essex, Haddam, Chester, Old Saybrook, Madison, Guilford, Westbrook, and Clinton.
Wow.
All the bottled water at all the stores in those towns were gone because people were stocking up.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah, but I wonder if this is related to that diarrhea parasite.
Yeah, but that wasn't about water.
No, but
that was about like bagged lettuce and cilantro.
I don't know. It's kind of, isn't it ironic that Taco Bell stopped serving certain ingredients because it may cause explosive diarrhea? Isn't that the whole point of going?
To me, that's the risk you always run.
Whenever they say, hey, you need to go to this colonoscopy, drink this whole gallon of Go Lightly. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get gordita from Taco Bell.
Do they still make the gordita?
I don't even know if they do.
I have no idea. It's been so long.
Cases of a severe stomach illness caused by a parasite are surging across the country, with more than 30 states reporting infection. The U.S. CDC and actually, it's not just P. It's worse. Reported on Friday at least 843 confirmed cases and more than 1,500 possible cases across 31 states. At least 86 people have been hospitalized over this.
Wow.
Symptoms include explosive diarrhea, nausea, abdominal cramping, bloating, and fatigue. Unlike many stomach bugs that resolve within 24 to 48 hours, this can last significantly longer. Oh, joy.
Wow.
Yeah. And it spreads. The parasite has also been found in swimming pools and splash pads, where it can spread through ingested water. This is why I'm asking if there's any correlation. to this E. coli versus?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what. Parasites can get into you. It's not that difficult.
And health officials warn that the parasite is resistant to bleach and can survive in chlorinated pools. Hope you have a nice summer, everybody.
Hey, it's going to be a heat wave tomorrow. 98 degrees. Cool down.
Everybody jump in. It's like Maura Healey a couple of weeks ago. The beaches are open.
They may be contaminated with fecal matter, but they're open. Surf's up.
Do you really want to be swimming in the water?
We went in the water over last week.
Yeah.
In the beaches that were previously tainted.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the water flows. The water it's not, standing water. It, tides and everything flows back out to other parts. So it was fine. I didn't see any evidence. I didn't see anything crazy.
Nothing crazy out there. Nobody turning into a monster coming out of the water.
Nope.
Yeah, I've got the poopy monster disease.
Not from where I was sitting on the beach. I don't remember when it happened, but at some point a few months ago, we were introduced to the magic and glory of the stroopwafel.
I love a good stroopwafel. I didn't even honestly know what a stroopwafel was until I had one from Shauna Nelson.
Shauna Nelson is in the studio from is Stroop. There it is.
Well, it's just Stroops. The There It Is a play on the song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're delicious, and of course you brought stuff for us to stuff our fat faces with in just a few minutes. But you're here for another purpose too. Tell us a little bit about the Suffield Shops, the Stands.
Yeah. So this is a program I created in the town that I live in, which is Suffield and West Suffield, and it was developed to be inclusive of all of the really small farm stands and cottage bakers and people who have micro businesses like I do. So what I did was for the month of June, got 16 other vendors to sign on and participate. And people within the community can stop by any of the farm stands and grab a card, which kind of looks like a bingo card. And when you make qualifying purchases at any of the vendors on this card, you'll get a stamp. Once you have 5 stamps, you turn your card into any of the vendors, because every vendor is going to be giving away a first place raffle prize at the end of the month.
Oh, cool.
So whoever's raffle prize you want to receive, that's where you're going to turn your card in. And then on the 31st, every vendor will do their drawing and will notify the winners. So once you have your 5 stamps, you start another card and you visit more vendors and you turn that card in.
Bigger chance to win.
Yep.
Wow.
And what can you win?
So every vendor is giving away a different raffle prize. It really depends on where you go. We have pick your own berries. We have regular produce stands. We have Hastings Farm, which has incredible fresh milk products, ice cream, and beef. We have a couple of places that do eggs. We have some cottage bakers. We have flour vendors, everything that you can imagine. But these are primarily people who don't go to the farmers markets because they tend to be difficult to get into. So I wanted to create something that was inclusive of everybody.
The funny thing is I've driven through Suffield and West Suffield. There's not, because it's such a rural area, there's not a whole lot of businesses, brick and mortar businesses. But
No, we're
and
a
I'm
small
really
town.
really surprised to see how many stands there are out there.
A lot. And
Yeah.
I have 16 for this month, and I think I have 20 people signed on for August so far.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
This is Shauna Nelson, the Suffield Shops, the Stands, which goes on through the third. This month goes on through the 31st, obviously.
Yep.
But it's interesting because people think when you own a business, I think they expect it's a big business. You have employees, but there's a lot of very, very small businesses, like you say, like a micro business that needs to find ways of marketing themselves and getting out there and getting their message across. I think it's a really cool idea for businesses of that size that may be overlooked by a lot of people, maybe even in your own town.
So when you want to find a business like this, there is no Google search. Like if you put in cottage bakery, near me, you're not going to find, my name's not going to come up. And I'm trying to work on a way to fix that, because that would be fantastic. But 2 or 3 days after I launched this, a gentleman by the name of Nick stopped by my stand, and he runs a site called pop.us. And what it is based on your location, it brings up businesses like mine.
Oh, cool.
So all of my vendors are loaded onto the Mom and Pop site. But anybody out there who's listening who has a farm stand, who just, puts eggs in a cooler out, small farms, cottage bakers, makers, artisans, tree farms, growers, whatever, small, can go on and can make a listing. And then it also allows you to say, hey, I'm driving to Lime Rock Park. I want to, stop and grab snacks along the way. It'll allow you to plan a route to hit the farm stands.
And it's important to support these local businesses, because I'm sure there are, you deal with prepared foods. You prepare your foods, you put them out for sale. There's got to be permits and licensing and all this other stuff that go along with whatever jurisdiction you're in, I would imagine, in Connecticut, as well as state certification and all that stuff too. Is there so all that stuff comes with an added cost. It's not just oh yeah, there's this. I'm just putting vegetables out of the stand. There's fees to be paid to people. So, how hard is it to get to sell food license in the state of Connecticut?
The cottage license, it has its moments. I struggled for about 3 months to get mine through because of the syrup in the stroopwafels. Mm-hmm. When I had put it on the paperwork, I described it as a caramel syrup, and it technically has that flavor, but there's no milk in it. And then there was back and forth. So it really depends on what you're going to make and the shelf stability of it. I'm not allowed to sell refrigerated foods or foods that require refrigeration. It has to be, breads and cookies and things like that. And there are a lot of restrictions.
Most ingredients that came from a refrigerator.
Yes.
Which is ironic.
Well, that represents hardly anything, really. I mean, who uses refrigeration these days? I mean, it's unheard of. But if someone wanted to find out a list of these participating micro businesses, you have a Facebook page and the momandpop.com. Did I get that right?
The letter N, pop.us.
US. That website will kind of guide you through to some of the participating businesses?
Yep, and the website just launched last night, which is SuffieldShopsTheStands.com, and it gives you all of the details about, how you participate in the program. It has a list of all of the vendors, what they sell, and a link for their address. So if you click on the address, it will Google map you to them.
Well,
there you go.
I will say, on behalf of Steve and I, we are enormous fans of Stroop's. And I'm it's great to finally get a chance to meet you, because they were fantastic.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming to the studio. And again, SuffieldShopsTheStands.com. You can find out all the information there. It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today with a high of 86. It's 69 giggity in downtown Springfield.
On the phone this right now, brought to you by Next Gen Roofing. They do this every single day. It's Fitzy from Townie News. How are you, Fitzy?
Good morning, gentlemen. Wonderful to speak to you again. Hope you and yours and the entire audience had a fabulous 4th of July and a swastastic start to their summertime enjoyments. Couple shout-outs to kick things off today. HBD, happy birthday, happy 21st plus 29 to longtime Bax and O'Brien, now Bax and Nagle listener Maz, who celebrated the big birthday over the weekend. She sent me a photograph of some yacht rock covered Hawaiian shirts her friends had made up with her face on it, and so now I'll never sleep again. And also, unfortunately, let's pour one for the legendary actor Sam Neill, who passed away overnight at the age of 78. He shall fear velociraptors no more as he now ascends to the great Jurassic Park in the sky.
Well, maybe they can take his DNA and recreate him somewhere and put him on an island.
See, that's all you got to do is you hope that maybe he spit on something, and next thing you know, we'll have an island full of 5,000 of them.
Yeah,
look at this is you, Nagle. This is the new you. I think I'm into it. The whole nope. Let's all if someone's going to give us lemons, we're going to make chicken salad, mofo.
That's right. Hey, listen, I don't want to be the I told you so guy, but I'm going to be the I told you so. You two rubes in the beginning of the season were like, the Red Sox are awful, blah, blah, blah. And look where they are now in the standings, third place.
Not just in third place, guy.
Yeah.
14-2 over their last 16. Winners of 9 straight, hotter than the pavement under the feet of the people on their way into that nonsensical park to go see some warbler from Vermont who I still don't understand. Side note, if somebody could just please explain Noah Kahan's popularity. That's a different topic altogether. The Sox are white hot, red hot. They are lava hot. They are hotter than Hansel right now. They are unstoppable. And the thing is, A, yes, you're right. B, good for you, Nagle.
Thank you.
C, you know what? Fine. Bax and I are buying back in. We're ready to get hurt all over again. I can't wait for them to be out of it by the middle of August after I bought back in early July. And D, I have no idea who's playing for them right now, and maybe that's part of the fun. I watched the game on Saturday against the Mets, and they were like, all right, everybody, top of the order. Here comes Wow Chow. He's a shortstop. I was like, who is this guy? They're like, here comes Big Dave. And I'm like, what? They're literally half the lineup. Yeah, I know Wilyer Abreu. I know Cedon Rafaela. But, there was no, obviously Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. My God, if somebody freaking sneezes and they're on the DL for 60 days. These guys, these young kids, these softies, they got to get it together. But the rest of the lineup. And then Saturday, they went in against the Mets. They went into Citi Field and swept the Mets. And they pitched an opener, the whole thing where somebody comes in for an inning and 2/3 and someone does 3, then someone does 1.5. And they had 6 guys. Didn't know a single name of any of the guys, and yet they still I was like, go get him, Ricky Maldonado. Yeah.
But I told you, and what did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you, and when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say what happened when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
More guys got into that game on Saturday than the Tampa Bay-based Florida porn that Nagle watches before he goes to bed every night.
I think we can all agree, though, and Fitzy, I'm sure you're with me on this, we have seen these kinds of flutters before where there's a winning streak. They're doing pretty good right before the All-Star break, and then once, say, like late to August, early September rolls around, then all of a sudden the bear claw trap just rips your leg right off in the middle of the woods.
I have seen this Saw movie where they welcome you in and you reach in and next thing you know your arm is trapped and you have to gnaw it off in order to be able to escape and live the rest of your life. It's a horror film, Nagle, and I refuse. They're standing at the gate right now with a giant Trojan Wally the Green Monster, and they just want you to open the gate so they can come on through and just welcome you to a benevolent summer of good times and Sweet Caroline and Sam Adams and Won't It Feel So Good, So Good. And as soon as you let them through, they just absolutely ransack your emotional village and destroy everything. Bax, the same thing has happened the last 4 years in a row. They have finished 10-2 or better on hot winning streaks,
right.
Super hot, coming into the All-Star break, and then they're out of it. But now, last year, yes, they did qualify for the wild card, and then we all know how well that series went. But they do the same thing, and 3 of those 4 years, they came in, 10-2 or better, or 12-3 this year, 14-2, winners of 9 straight. Yes, they're in the wild card, Nagle. I understand they're tied for it. They're better than every other team in the American League right now, hottest team in baseball. But they're going to do it to you all over again. So if you buy back in and allow yourself to get hurt or emotionally damaged, I don't want you filing claims and using your WEX or your HSA account saying, oh, no, the Red Sox hurt me all over again, because it's going to be your fault.
I can only equate this to, let's say you're at a bar, you're out of town, and you meet this woman. She's absolutely beautiful, and you're hitting it off just perfectly, and everything looks like it's going to go great. It's going to be a great night of wild sexual activity, and then 2 hours later, you're in a bathtub getting your kidneys removed. This is how I feel this Red Sox season could still go.
Or maybe, Bax, I'll make it even slightly more contemporary. You go to a restaurant. You have, you'd been told this restaurant was good, but sometimes it's prone to disappointment. It's a real 50-50, roll of the dice, okay? So you go anyway, and oh my God, the salad is spectacular. The steak is cooked perfectly. Great wine. They love you so much they bring you free dessert, and you have the best meal ever. Sure, it was a little over budget, but you're thinking, I just had the time of my life. 7 days later, you have explosive diarrhea, and you can't control it.
That's exactly what it's like. You're absolutely right.
I am afraid of sports cyclopora, Nagle. I don't feel like getting explosive Red Sox diarrhea.
Listen, you gotta stop being a pessimist and start being a pessimist.
I'm going to stop being a New Englander. You're telling me now, 50 years into the ride, I have to try to turn over a new leaf? Tom Brady's gone. He's not walking through that door anymore, as Rick Pitino famously said, I think. It's a different culture. It's a different time.
Yeah, I know you've been watching the World Cup. I was very sad to see, the Norwegians lose, because to me, Erling Haaland is the World Cup version of Gronk, and I love that guy. I wish things had turned out just a little bit differently.
It's funny. My oldest one is not the sports fan you would necessarily think that a lunatic like myself would have as progeny, but like he finally found. He's a big, tall, 13-year-old kid, and he finally got into sports, and it was Norway's run during the World Cup. I think because he found akin to him a big, tall weirdo, and like he just fell in love with this Holland guy. Like he was so into the game. Like there were S-bombs and F-bombs flying out of the room the other day in the match against England, and I was like, I'm not going to tell him to stop. I'm so proud. I was so proud of it. Like, you sound like an absolute psychopath. You are prepared to get hurt. This is what your dad wishes he could have said back in 1986 when the Red Sox broke his heart in the World Series against the Mets. This is what you need. You need to touch the bottom. You need to be disappointed so that you can make your way back up to the top and truly appreciate what life is like when your team is awesome and or wins a championship, except for, of course, Jets fans who have only known life on the bottom. Yeah, dude, this Norway team. And also, by the way, what a disappointment that all the Norwegian fans have left. A, because of the Viking traditions and the big row thing that they did. And also, B, fare thee well, women of Norway. I don't know who's going to fill your cups now, but man, weren't you? Thank you for being a pleasant view while we all sat in hot traffic this summer.
But I mean, as I'm watching this guy, I mean, one, he's a scoring machine. Not so much the other day,
and
but
he's giant. Yeah, like you said, he's like 6 foot. He's 6'9". He looks like he looks like a surprise henchman in a Bond film, but he's just so awesome.
But when you look at a guy. And maybe this is wrong to do. Maybe it's just like a stereotype that probably shouldn't happen. But when you look at a guy like Erling Haaland, all you can think of is this guy is operating on single-digit IQ, and I don't care.
Well, go ahead and profile. It's Western Mass. It's fine. No one's going to judge it.
It's profiling. It's unfair, but he just doesn't seem like the kind of guy that gets past like elementary school, math. It just.
But at the same time, though, like, didn't we all say that about Gronk? Like, Gronk was like the football equivalent of the Planet Fitness guy. I pick things up and I put them down. Right? And, yeah. And
exactly
at the same time, it come to learn, Gronk plays this amazing 10-year NFL career, has 4 Super Bowls, runs charities. Never spent a single dollar of his salaries because he only spent sponsorship money and tucked it all away. And then a friend of his told him to invest in either Apple or Google early on, and so now he's got like an online trading profile worth millions of dollars. He's like life dumb, sports smart, or sports dumb, life smart. I don't know. Either way it is. All I know is that who in this World Cup right now, if you had a chance, like, who would you most want to hang out with? Do you want to hang out with the guy whose name, unfortunately, is code word for junk, Harry Kane? Do you want to hang out with? Do you want to hang out with Messi? Do you want to hang out with Mbappe? Or would you want to go hanging out for a night with Erling Haaland? I mean, I think the choice is clear.
It's very, very clear. Erling Haaland all day long.
Yeah. And by the way, so some guy named Sinner won Wimbledon yesterday. Did either of you guys know Wimbledon was happening?
I heard a vague rumor that it was going on.
I only knew that was happening because Camilla was sitting in the stand. They had a meme of her, and she had a little mini fan in her hand, and this lady behind her's hair was gelled in place, and it looked like the fan was blowing her hair back, even though it wasn't.
I mean, like the World Cup completely buried. Like at this point now, were the stands even full? Because I know like England is all getting ready for who does England? England plays Argentina on Wednesday, and tomorrow it's Spain versus France. 4 countries I've never been to, 4 languages I can't speak. That's fine. But 2 amazing soccer matches and 1 awesome final on Sunday. Yeah, I had 0 idea that Wimbledon was happening. Not that I build my summertime sports calendar around just a great long tennis tournament thing. Call me up when Wimbledon has like a pickleball championship, and then maybe I'll tune back in.
Now you're talking.
Good
All
time.
right, very good. Fitzy, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right, I'm gonna go hit the books. I got to make back all that money I lost on betting on Conor McGregor on Saturday night. I mean, it looks like a shoe-in to me.
Hey, turn that Beantown frown upside down. The Red Sox are on their way to mediocrity.
Hey, and by the time I take next week off, and then I'm back the following Monday, I can't wait for them to be 7 games behind first place all over, getting completely out of it, Nick.
All right, we'll hold it to it.
Love you, boys. Thank you, guys.
It's Fitzy from TonyNews.com. 824 on Rock 102. 833 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Big Y, your family market. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bex. The annual Our Lady of Mount Carmel Italian Feast held the traditional mass and procession through historic south end of Springfield Sunday. Bada bing, bada boom.
I don't climb the grease pole. The grease pole climbs me.
Hey, what you do in your spare time is your own business there, am I right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
I bet you're a big fan of the cannoli eating contest, if you know what I'm saying.
You're damn right about that.
The weekend-long celebration, which began in 1897, honors family, faith, food, and tradition. An essential element of the feast, now in its 129th year, is the Mass followed by a procession to honor the Madonna. Was that like a prayer Madonna or?
No, it was Holiday.
Material Girl?
Holiday.
I like Material Girl.
Yeah, I like that one too.
I'm just saying, I like Material Girl.
Yes, well, that's a great song.
I'm just saying, Bax.
I know what you're just saying.
Are you drinking the sake, Kimasabi? What's going on?
I'm with you.
All right,
I'm with you.
Okay. Sal Circosta, president of the Sons of Italy, highlighted the enduring community spirit. It's incredible. After 129 years, we always feel the church overflowing, joyous community event as Italians.
You know, I know Sal Circosta. I've known Sal Circosta for 20-plus years. He sounds nothing like that.
He was in here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he didn't sound like that.
The way I remember it, he does. During the procession, Italian sashes were prominently displayed, symbolizing deep-rooted pride. Springfield Mayor Dom Dom, who's been attending the church since he was a child, observed the participating in the procession. Congressman Richie Neal,
not Italian,
the most Italian guy I know. He also attended the event. He noted what personally stood out to him. Old world and the new world. It's pretty neat. Still a large number of Italian immigrants that are here. It's a great story about America. Oh, fine. Here we go.
I know Richie Neal. I've known Richie Neal for 30 years. He does not sound anything like that.
How does he feel about Madonna?
I don't know if he's a big fan.
Beyond the mass and procession, guests enjoyed additional feast activities throughout the day. The annual grease pole competition was set for Sunday evening, and there was no update onto who won the grease pole.
Is there an update on who won the cannoli eating contest?
I did see cannoli eating.
Because I think Judy
contest.
Matt was a little nervous about it.
Why?
Because she was in the cannoli eating contest. She's like, I'm in the cannoli eating contest, and I probably couldn't finish one. I'm like, Judy, I don't think there's any real expectation that you're going to walk away the winner of this. So just enjoy the cannoli and have fun.
When was yesterday? Yesterday was the 12th. The LA hosted first ever cannoli eating contest. La Fiorentina organized the competition as part of its 80th anniversary celebration. Youths, adults, and local celebrity competitors went head-to-head for bragging rights. Who were the celebrities?
I don't know, but I'm just learning now that this year's winner, Springfield City Councilor Victor Davia, donated his winnings to the Darrell Lee Jenkins Resource Center. Way to go, Victor. Nicely done.
He won the cannoli eating contest?
Yes, and the grease pole competition featured the first 2 women to ever compete, Brittany Browning and Ashley Piccarilli. both military veterans.
Hey, who wants to grease the pole?
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's nice to know we've overcome the gender barrier that has been questionable for so many grease pole competitions in the past.
You know what?
A woman is as capable as climbing a grease pole as any man.
I never thought I'd see the day where we allow these broads to come in and climb a grease pole. This is a man's job.
No, actually, a woman can climb a grease pole just as good as a man. Maybe even better.
All right.
Because there's a prosciutto at the top of that thing.
Is there a prosciutto? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think there's like some prosciutto, maybe a mortadella, and some gabagool up at the top.
A little gabagool.
That's
Who
right.
doesn't like a gabagool at the end of a greased pole? I'll tell you that.
Nobody reached the top of the greased pole.
A Springfield man has been reunited with his late mother's ashes after a Facebook post from a local trash removal worker drew hundreds of likes and shares and connected to two men within hours. Joseph Lavoie lost his mother in 2023. In the years that followed, he said her husband had possession of the ashes and the family had been trying to reach him to have her remains buried with her parents. Her husband had the ashes and we were trying to get a hold of them for a few years, just trying to get them buried with her parents and whatnot, he explained. And we lost contact with them over the years and just haven't been able to get a hold of them. This past Wednesday, a worker with a trash removal company posted a photo of several urns to Springfield's open forum on Facebook. Does anybody know whose ashes these are?
How awful must that be? I mean, if you're the loved one of said dude in the the urn, and all of a sudden they've been accidentally removed,
yeah,
I would feel horrible.
The post gained. The worker said the urns had been discarded as part of a job in Granby. The post gained hundreds of likes and shares. When Lavoie saw the post, he recognized one of the urns as his mother's. And I'm seeing my mom's urn right on the screen in a garage somewhere. So I posted, "Those are my mom's ashes. Please connect." And we were able to connect the same day and obtain the ashes. Lavoie said the unanswered questions remain, including how the urn ended up in a garage in Granby. Well, it's one of those unexplained phenomenons. How do ashes wind up anywhere in a garage in Granby?
It's a great mystery.
How did Pat Kelly wind up in Granby?
It's a longer story,
Yeah.
but I mean, there is a story to tell.
He also expressed gratitude towards the trash removal worker who made the post. I hope that he knows just how special of a person he is, that he really have done what he didn't really have to do. That's true. I mean, if you're a guy cleaning out property, technically all that stuff can go in the dumpster.
Technically.
But this guy was nice enough to at least say, hey, does somebody... It's the lost and found of loved ones.
Yeah, that's like brutal.
The Facebook post. I was reunited with my mother through Facebook.
Right. Well, it's nice to know that you were estranged from her ashes for so long. And there was a reuniting of the two.
What started as an investigation into a stabbing and arson in Indiana took a disturbing turn after a man admitted he'd set his own genitals on fire. Fire officials began an investigation into the fire at a detached garage in Fort Wayne on May 6. Around the same time, police were responding to a reported stabbing in the area. According to a probable cause affidavit, the property owners of the garage told officials that a neighbor woke them up to alert them about the fire. The owners also noticed a family member, 36-year-old Christopher Peden, was missing, they said. Fort Wayne police, meanwhile, encountered a stabbing victim who turned out to be Peden. As he was being transported to the hospital, he claimed he'd been stabbed somewhere in downtown Fort Wayne. He had also been threatened the day before. Later, Peden admitted to investigators as he was dishonest about the stabbing and wanted to be truthful. That's when he revealed that he said he was the actual cause of the fire. Peden said he went to the garage and harmed himself by cutting off his pee-pee with a kitchen knife.
Mm-hmm.
Like a butter knife? Or like, I would imagine you'd have to have like a Cuisinart or a...
I'd say a boning knife.
Oh, that would always be the good one. He told investigators he then poured gasoline on it and set it on fire on the garage floor just inside the door. He then walked away and eventually encountered the police.
You know, I'm just going to say this. You got to really hate your penis to cut it off, pour gasoline on it, and set it on fire. It must have seriously done you wrong.
Did it? Did it do you wrong?
Well, I
so
mean,
bad?
Yes. It did. It did you wrong.
You know, I've been walking around with this thing for the last 40 years. It has caused me nothing but problems.
Nothing but headaches. I'm up to here with this thing.
And when I saw that sticker on the back of that back of that lady's Jeep that said if it has penis or wheels, it'll give you problems, I knew that this had to go. You know, and then he went into his story because they took the witness, you know, the thing. And he said, I woke up this morning with a bad hangover and my penis was missing again. This happens all the time. It's detachable. Detachable penis. This comes in handy a lot of the time. You know, I can leave it at home when I think it's going to get me in trouble, or I can rent it out when I don't need it. But then, now and then, I go to a party, I get drunk, and the next morning, for the life of me, I can't remember what I did with it. First, I looked around the apartment. I couldn't find it, so I called up the place where the party was. They hadn't seen it. I asked them to check the medicine cabinet because for some reason I leave it in there sometimes, but not this time. So I told them if it pops up, let me know. I called a few people who were at the party, but they were no help either. I was starting to get desperate. I really don't like being without my penis for too long. It makes me feel like less of a man, and I really hate having to sit down every time to take a leak. After a few hours of searching the house and calling everyone I could think of, I was starting to get very depressed. So I went to the Kiev and ate breakfast. And then as I walked down 2nd Avenue towards St. Mark's Place, where all those people used to sell used books and other junk on the street, I see my penis lying there on a blanket.
Was it next to a broken toaster oven?
It was. Some guy was selling it. And I had to buy it off him.
How much?
He wanted $20, but I talked him down to 17. I took it home, I washed it off, and I put it back on. I was happy again. Complete. People sometimes tell me if I should get it permanently attached, but I don't know. Even though sometimes it's a pain in the ass. I like having a detachable penis. Detachable penis. Good. King Missile.
Oh, man, what a classic.
Detachable penis.
What a classic. On the other hand, if you've set it on fire, is this a good time for s'mores?
When is not a good time for s'mores? With a hot dog in it. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds with a high of 86. It is 73 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
To Springfield's Classic Rock, 8:52 and 38 special with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I feel like we should have had some Andy Williams or some, you know, like a Home for the Holidays.
No, yeah, I didn't think about that
type of thing. But there is hope for the holidays, and in the studio with us this morning is Jared Berkeley from Hope for the Holidays. Good morning, Jared. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing excellent. How are you guys?
Good. Give us a little bit of a explanation about what the organization's all about.
So we're Hope for the Holidays. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and what we do is we partner with Brightside for Families and Children, and every year we do a toy drive and a motorcycle run out of Chicopee Walmart. Typically 500 plus motorcycles that leave out of that ride every Sunday.
Wow.
Or on Sunday for that run. And we bring toys and cash donations, gift cards, all to Brightside for them to help with children, teens, young adults with school, family needs, home supplies, anything that they need.
It's being described as Christmas in July, but the fact of the matter is they need help all year long, not just around the Christmas time.
They do. So Christmas in July is actually a new thing that we're starting out this year as kind of like a preamble to our annual event of the Toy Run in November. We figured that this is kind of more of the bike season being in July, so we are...
As opposed to November? You're kidding me, really?
Yeah, well, some people ride year-round, but some people enjoy July a little bit more. So we decided that we were going to do a Christmas in July special event hosted over at the Moose Lodge in Chicopee, who we partner with, and they help us out a lot with this event. We're going to piggyback off their weekly car show that happens on Thursday nights.
They have the cruise nights over there.
The cruise nights, correct. Yep. So we're going to be piggybacking on that this Thursday, July 16th. We're going to have a booth set up with information on the run, how you can become a sponsor or a vendor at the after party. Old School Harley Davidson is going to be coming up from Enfield and putting on a motorcycle show for us with trophies and all sorts of good stuff. So it's going to be a great time.
That sounds like a good time. How much have you raised so far in the years that you've been around?
So in the past few years, we've been getting right around the $20,000 mark. That
Wow.
goes to Brightside. As long as I've been around, kind of helping it. This year, we're hoping to go above and beyond that with this Christmas in July event, giving us that extra bump halfway through the year.
How many people ride in that ride every year?
500 plus.
Yeah, it's good.
Rough.
It's a good sized group.
It's a good sized group.
Yeah. I remember being in that parking lot watching rides take off from it, and it's like an endless. It just goes on forever.
It takes
Just
about
endless.
5 minutes from the first bike coming out to the last.
Yeah. So it's so cool that you're doing that, and that is the event this week is going to be on Thursday from 5 until 9. Are there tickets to buy? Is there anything to?
Nope, there's no tickets to buy. You just show up at the Moose Lodge for their cruise night, and we will be there kind of just piggybacking off. We'll have a booth set up. It'll be all decorated. You'll see us. You'll see Old School Harley with the bike show. We're going to have a couple things we're raffling off, too, to kind of gain some interest, get some people over to the tent, and that money, obviously, is just going toward our big donation at the end of the year.
You guys also support Lorraine's Kitchen as
We
well,
do.
too.
We do.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So we partner with them. Last year, we knew that they were in need of some extra cash to help with their supplies and stuff. And they also have some families they work with that could have used some toys. So we actually ended up making a cash donation to them as well as a toy donation.
Oh, it's great. Like a double whammy.
Yes.
You get for the organization.
Yeah, they
That's
do
pretty
great
cool.
things for the city of
Yeah,
Chicopee,
they do.
and they need some help. So we figure we were in a position to give them some help.
Well, that's great. Jared Berkeley, hope for the holidays. The big event is this Thursday at the Moose Lodge from 5 until 9. It's going to be a great time.
Everything begins and ends at the Moose Lodge in Chicopee.
Yes.
Just remember that. Okay.
Is that like a?
That's like the old adage. They
Is
go,
it really?
Oh yeah, everything begins and ends over there. There's lots of cool stuff going on there, and this is no exception. This will be a great event. Cruise night's going to be a nice night out too.
Yes, it should be beautiful.
Come by and stop by and get some more information.
Please do.
All right, Jared, good to see you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you guys very much.
It's 8:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.